The workplace has changed. The employee behavior has changed.
Yeah.
We're talking about hybrid working. We also talked about working from anywhere. We spoke about remote working.
Yeah.
We talked about distributed workforce. So it is not the employees who are located in an area are now working from home. They are now distributed everywhere. And this is not only for technology companies. So organizations have to decide, what roles can be mapped and put to such kind of remote working or hybrid working. And I'm sure that there are many roles. And those roles who cannot be, I think, have to be enabled. Why would we prefer to have a hybrid model? Because it provides flexibility. It provides the work from home. We know that it's not a vacation time and you are working from home, but it definitely, for people living in metro cities, it provides you certain leeway to balance your life. So what policies would change and need to be immediately changed or have to be relooked? I would say, first of all, the workplace definition has to be relooked, and it has to be accepted that for the distributed workforce, we have to agree that hybrid working and home as a workplace has to be acknowledged, which also means that from HR point of view, are we open to relook at what is discipline, employee discipline? What do you mean by employee attendance and absenteeism? And when we talk about work assignment, then what does it mean? And so we talk about OKR more than just job description. Performance management has to also be relooked, and I think it's high time that we see it from a very broad angle.
A lot of our workplace cultures, whether it's stated or implicit, really reinforce overwork, overwhelm, sometimes cognitive overwhelm, sometimes physical, working past our limits. The pandemic and the future are just going to continue to highlight these issues and make them more prevalent. And the conversation is really changing around this. People are starting to discuss mental health in the workplace. People are more willing to say, I'm not coping well, I'm struggling. And there's conversations we can have with our managers and our leaders and changes we can make in the workplace that facilitate not only the conversation, but sustainable, actionable steps, going beyond offering, an extra, a little bit of time off or saying, hey, we have counseling available, but truly modeling practices that prevent burnout, modeling compassion, modeling practices that are inclusive. There's a very deep connection between inclusivity and mental health. And, we've been talking a lot about DEI in the last few years, and all of these issues relate together. And, we talk about workplace culture, but culture is not only the things that we write and the policies we create, but the behaviors that we engage in, what we model, what we reinforce, what we put into our coaching, how we recognize people and how we include them. So I think ultimately where this becomes a sticking point for some organizations is there's still a little bit of a belief that the harder people work, the more will get done, the higher revenue will be, we'll hit those key metrics. But in reality, smart working, healthy working has been shown time and again to be the most effective way to be productive and to retain people. Very important. So they don't burn out, they don't leave your organization. There's so many benefits, and that we're just starting to come to the conversation and say, hey, sometimes working less is smarter. Sometimes taking a break is smarter. Not being interrupted is smarter. And I think we're going to continue to have that conversation as we move forward into the future.